this works. So we're gonna have to do it like this because simplicity. But I wanted to just do some parkour and talk about my preferred names as a trans man. Um, I have known I was not cisgender for for a few years now. I'm now 19. The first time I questioned it was when I was uh, I I usually lock in while parkouring. I'm so sorry, chat. When I was first on the internet at 13, so that's been I'm not doing math, but I have noticed even before that I did not ever like my dead name of let's now I have a ton of preferred names, but you know what, we'll talk about the dead names after going over the list of preferred names currently. Let's find a good spot to stand for 2 seconds. I think this is a pretty view. I have a list right here. So, quick disclaimer, please do only call me Wolfie, because on this channel, I am just this guy. I am this silly little guy, okay? Okay. So, call me Wolfie or Floof. You could also call me Floof. I forgot that one. But, currently I go by Hilbert, Faller, Olander, Avis, Chespin, um, Vex, Ovid, Hollow, October, I believe, is the next one on the list. I'm doing parkour. Yeah. ISO, which is short for Isopod, Starling, Axo, Boo, Stoat, Nyx, Kuna, Vulpix, Halloween, Leica, Timber, and Space. Which a lot of those are based on my interests, if you could tell. For example, isopods, ISO. ISO is short for isopod. Pretty easy, pretty quick and easy to tell what's going on there. Or let's say, Ovid. Ovid means sheep, and yeah, that's just what Ovid means. It means sheep. Bad. Oh, owie. But so also Fallers from Pokemon, and you also probably heard some Pokemon names. Also Hilbert's from Pokemon. Yay! But let's now talk about the preferred names that didn't work for me, which are technically dead names, but like I don't really care kind of thing. Like they don't offend me. I just failed so miserably right there. So first off, my first ever preferred name, which was when I was a mere little child, aka around 10 years old, I started wanting to go by Epic. Epic was just, at the time, chat, it was like 2016 or something, so like, you know how popular that word was during that time period. I wanted to go by it because I didn't have to confront that I was a guy. I could still believe I was not a guy by going by Epic. Epic I could see in a feminine light and a non-gendered light. That was very non-gender to me. Little child, you were being very non-gendered right there. But I wanted to go by it. It also matched with the Pokemon Eevee, actually. Oh, I failed that jump. But it was my first ever YouTube username, which that channel is now gone. I got on here at 10 years old for like 5 minutes under the name Epic Eevee, and I made Pokemon content because I was 10 and I loved Pokemon. But the name Epic is from that. I tried to really push it I was like, hey, can everyone call me Epic? No one did. I live in the fucking South. I was around a bunch of transphobes who did not want to call this little child Epic, despite how this little child consistently said their name was Epic. And I started to feel shamed for wanting to go by something that everyone else didn't see as normal. But I moved on. I eventually gave up on it because apparently you can't pick your own nickname, which no one had a nickname for me, so I just had to go with my dead name, which was, it was very feminine kind of thing. It was like, I'm not gonna say my dead name, but my dead name was very feminine. So it was also based on a flower. So I will give those points. That actually probably is why some of my names are plant based to this day. For example, Olander. I think Olander is a plant. Yeah, I believe so. I believe that's where I got that from. Of my dead my names do follow themes, and epic also was the start to words as names, descriptions. I still like description names out. Okay, that was cheating. I didn't get killed by the lava, but we're gonna act like I didn't just cheat right there. Okay, I think this is the jump I need to make, isn't it? I've gone through. Oh no, I need to make that. I've gone through this course before, so I kind of know what I'm doing. But also, that was months ago. I still have the streams up if anyone wants to look at them. So now let's go over my next preferred name. My next one was when I realized, hey, I'm allowed to be a guy. But I didn't fully realize I could be a guy. It was more like names don't have a gender. I was around 14 and the name was Hugo. Hugo was a popular name in the Netherlands, which I have been trying to learn Dutch most of my teenagehood. So I had a lot of friends from the Netherlands at that time, and I knew that the name worked there. So it meant intelligent, and it worked in a place that I would like to go to. So I went with it. Hugo was one of my favorite preferred names, actually. But transphobes got me again. AKA my mother. She said that's a big man name, and I was like, it means intelligent. And she had this bigger argument with me for years till around at 16 I dropped it. I dropped that name, despite really liking it. Despite how I liked having an H in front of my name. That's probably why one of my preferred names now is Hilbert. Is because the H name really spoke to me in a way. Oh, I failed that. It spoke to me. It made me feel me. So I really liked that one. I just didn't get the chance to ever love it because no one used it on me and it was pushed down. But I moved on to Solaris. Solaris was non-gendered, but not because I wanted it to be. It was more people could still see me as a girl with it and see me how they wanted to perceive me and wouldn't pick a fight with me simply because I have a name they don't like. So, yeah, that's why that name existed. I've been pushing away from it recently. I liked it kinda. It has like ties to space, which I like. But the fact that everyone kinda just used it because I'd give them the list of my names, they wanted to see me as a girl. So they picked the most feminine of my list. And now I have a lot longer of a list that would give all of them an aneurysm. Because I don't care anymore what they think. I started to... Oh, am I supposed to go down there or no? I forget. Is this... Yeah, I think that's the right way. Whoop! But I had to readjust my own perception of myself for other people many a times, and that frustrates me. I wish we were in a world where it was just what people say online. Of people online are always like, you can be trans, you can be different, but we all forget one thing. You're telling teenagers that the teenagers will be shamed for it, or they'll have to adjust because their parents will not let them be that person. And I want to normalize with this video that happens. I want to warn people that happens and to stay strong. Don't be like me. Don't lose the preferred names you really liked. Like, I, to this day, cannot go by Hugo, not because I don't like the name or the name meaning, which I really still like both of it, but because every time I think of that name, I think of I'm not a big burly man. I would like to be, but I'm not, and that's a problem. I'm gonna do this actually, because I have done that one before. I always think of that, and it sucks. It's really sad how the world works like that. But stay strong and stuff like that. You'll find preferred names and people who will call you by them. I have people who will call me by my names now, and I'm really happy about it. Like, I, um, I love all of my names at this point. Okay, so yeah, we do have to go for... There we go. I have learned who I am over time, and I am really glad for that. I really enjoy my preferred names, and at least the entire time Wolfie has stayed something that people could call me, because I started that preferred name, username technically. Not preferred name, just what I like people to call me online. I started that back when I was 13, and it stuck with me. It stuck strongly. But I really wish it was a perfect world where I could be Hugo. The first name I thought of and really enjoyed. Because I still enjoy it. I just can't go by it. At least I got Hilbert, which is stolen from Pokemon, of course. Think I mentioned that? I don't know. This video is not scripted. If anyone can tell it's not scripted, it's just a trans person yapping, pretty much. But at least I have found preferred names that I won't let people shame me out of. Because, whoa. Okay, that was incredibly bad. I know I can do this. That's the thing. Chat, let me lock in for 2 seconds. I have done this before. Oh no. Oh. I have done this before. I know I can do it. The trick is to not push forward when you jump till you get in line. I'm okay at ladder parkour. Sorry, chat, getting a little distracted by... Yeah, I should probably end this video, but, you know what? I'm gonna go over my preferred names that I have currently and what I like about them, as a positive ending to it, or at least a few of them. So, first off, Hilbert. It has the H sound that I wanted. I wanted the H sound, and I got it. I have the H sound, and it's tied to Pokemon. It's the Unova protagonist, if anyone's wondering where the name Hilbert comes from. And I love it. I introduce myself in public as it at this point, and it's kind of beautiful that I do so. Next is Faller. Faller I like because it's also stolen from Pokemon. Oh. Faller is stolen from the Fallers, which is one of my favorite things Pokemon came up with, which, no, Ingo is not the only Faller, guys. When I think Fallers, I think Looker and Annabelle. Which I love Looker and Annabelle, so, yay, yippee! Then, next on the list, Olander. I like this one because it just has sentimental value to me, and also it's plant theming, and it sounds like a soft boy, and I am kind of a soft boy. So, I like the name that sounds like a soft boy. Because I am soft, I am sweet, I am cute. Yeah, yay. Okay, Avis has a tie to a character that I will not talk about, but you can tell exactly why Avis and Ovid exist, just like go watch that Q&A video that mentions a YouTuber who got canceled, who I really like the character of. So those two are tied to that. But I still love them. Chespin is from Pokemon. I am a big Chespin fan. I also just found the name cute, kind of thing. Oh no, ice parkour chat. I love how this parkour course has either the easiest or hardest thing to ever do, and I sit here like, it goes from the easy parkour to ice parkour. Make it or break it, chat. I can do this. Yeah, that was horrendous. Vex. Vex is from Minecraft, if anyone could guess that. Ooh, this is pretty. Vex is from Minecraft. Vexes are actually one of my favorite mobs, especially their little new sprite of like, I didn't like them back in their old sprite, but the sprite that just looks like a grumpy Allay is so cute, and I, I think it's my favorite. Like, I genuinely I like the Allays, but then the Vexes just being the definition of a grumpy Allay is, the beauty of it is not lost on me. Um, Then we have Hallow and October, which are also, I'm going to throw Halloween into this category, which are all based on Halloween, which is my favorite season, chat. It's so whimsical. I love like this. I love autumn time. I would use the name autumn, but I feel like that's just, it's gonna be perceived too femininely. I like, yeah, I know there's no gender to names, but I know that every time I would use that in public, people would always go she, her if I did that. So I'm going to not do that because currently we do not live in the perfect utopia where we can all be perceived exactly how we want and won't have transphobes breathing down our necks. Some of us do not live in places where it's not normal. Where it's like, some of us do live in places where transphobia is unfortunately normalized, and that sucks. But we kind of just gotta live with it, cause yeah. Um. Then ISO for Isopod, which is one of my animal focus names, which I do have a special interest on animals. I also think ISO just sounds like a cool kid. Tell me that doesn't sound like a skateboard punk, like someone who is just chilling at the skateboard park is, hey, I'm ISO. Tell me that doesn't have that vibe. Let me lock in a little bit because this is, I'll check the list in a second. Okay. So, next up for ISO is Starling, which is our animal-based one, which I just think starlings are really pretty. They're not even one of my favorite birds. They're just pretty. My favorite bird is probably... what is my favorite bird? I need to choose. I love flamingos. I think flamingos are cool. I also really like, strawberry finches. I love finches in general. They come in such pretty colors. But starlings are pretty. Um, Also star themed, because, yeah, I'm star themed. Literally, look at my Minecraft Skins shirt. Those are stars. Then we have Axo, which is short for axolotl, because I also really like axolotls, and Axo became a vocal stem for me because of axolotls that I came up with. I kept referring to these little axolotl blind boxes, which I like the blind box. I don't want that thing to become popular ever in my life, because that would make me so sad if everyone just attributed it to a trend, when I've been getting these for years for the simple reason they're cute. And I don't mind having some duplicates. I give them to friends if I get a duplicate. But I like them. They're silly. I have been trying to get the zombie one. I would call them Axoballs to shorten the name, though. So I started vocal stemming it pretty much, and that's how Axo became a name. Boo is spooky themed, but also for years I was like, oh, I want a partner to call me the pet name Boo because I really like the name, and then suddenly I realized I could just use the name. I could just use it as a name. I want someone to call me this, and no one's called me it. Well, that's a preferred name now. Darn it. You guys gotta call me Boo. But that's where that came from. Stoat. Stoat is a kind of weasel. It's a part of the weasel family, and I think stoats are really, really cute. Man who likes ferrets says that stoats are really cute. Yeah, also, I felt like I also kind of use ferret as a name. I need to add ferret to my listing, but I just don't use it as much of a name. I mostly use it as a name in fandom spaces that I'm a part of, because if I'm ever a part of a chat, I am a ferret. I am overall my chat Sona is a ferret, so I'm going to be using the name ferret in places. Then we got Nyx. Nyx is because of my dream recipe hyperfixation. In particular, my syndicate one. Back when I was a 15-year-old, I was like, oh, I want to make a syndicate soda. I had like a dream recipe OC. He wasn't very developed. He was kind of just me, but and he had like no lore. But his syndicate name was Nyx because I liked nighttime. So Nyx got added to my preferred names because of that. I just wanted to do a nod to that. Kuna is actually based on Apakuna. I am, this is Fictkin based. I am Bannerfall Apokin. So, ooh, what's in there? Oh, I think that's a trap, actually. I don't think I'm supposed to go in there. But I am Bannerfall Apokin. So I wanted to put some of that name into one of my preferred names, and that's where Kuna comes from. Then we get, Vulpix Pokemon. Easy, simple. Yay, sparkle emoji. Then Laika. I've always related to Space Dog. So, I am the Space Dog, trust. But Laika's from that. Timber was actually, like, based on Timberwolves, which, as a kid, were my favorite, historical creature. So, yeah, Timber is based on that. So, Timber! It is also the name of my Stardew Sona. That's the name I use in Stardew Valley. Then, Space. Space is based on Captain Spaceboy from Amori. I love my preferred names. Being a name collector is whimsical and fun, and I highly recommend it to anyone who has ever thought about having more than one preferred name. You can have as many as you want. It's fun, it's whimsical, yay. I'm gonna get through this, and then we're gonna end the video, because, yeah, I did some parkour, and I yapped about my preferred names. That was the goal of the video, and yapped about the loss of preferred names that I'll never use again, and it's kind of sad. Oh, also, anyone can steal any of these preferred names from me, by the way. So, you can, like, take inspo from my names. You are allowed. They're just names. So if anyone trans or non-binary, or even trans femme, like, mostly trans mask, but, like, trans femmes can also take names if they want one of the, like, names that I had of, let's say, for example, like, Solaris or something. Or if they want a masculine name. Name doesn't equal gender. Society will see it that way. But you do not have to let your name equal gender. You are allowed to be whoever you want to be. And that's beautiful. And I love that for people. So, this is the next checkpoint. So, I think that's it. Yay! I hope you guys enjoyed a trans mask person just yapping for I don't know how long. I am horrible at short videos. I love yapping. This is why I'm a streamer. And just yappers. Yappers. Goodbye. Have a nice day.